Hey, how's it going? This is Mr. Hernandez, and I'm going to be going over the triangle congruence theorems. So I made this entire, it looks like a piece of paper because what you're going to want to do is have an entire piece of paper that's blank in the front or on one side, and then you're going to want to cut it into 6 equal parts. Don't forget to include today's date as well, but this is kind of like your very first, setup. Just pause the video and make sure it looks like this. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go on to one of these squares. The first triangle congruence theorem is going to be SSS, which stands for side, side, side. So I want you to basically create, two congruent triangles, and go ahead and put a mark for one side, 2 marks for another side, and 3 marks for the other side. So that's how you end up getting this side, side, side. And then those correspond, of course, to these 3 sides. But yeah, you can use the side, side, side theorem if you know these 3 sides correspond and they're congruent. The next one is going to be, SAS, which stands for side, angle, side. And again, go ahead and draw just the best you can 2 congruent triangles. And so you want to start with the side, and then you want to do another side. But notice that there's an angle right between. Right, so this is between the 2 sides. So then you want to look here and say which angle is between these 2 sides, and that's this one right here. So it's very, very important to know that this angle is between these 2 sides. Okay, the next one is going to be ASA, which of course is angle, side, angle. And that's when you have 2 angles that are corresponding or that are congruent. So this angle, let's say, and this one. So these correspond and are congruent. These are also congruent. And notice that this side is in the middle, kind of like the last one, SAS, but this is just in reverse. So then you want to say, well, which side, if this side's in the middle of the 2 angles, which side on this triangle is between these 2 angles? And that's this side right here. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that with a notch here and a notch here. Now this one's going to look very similar to the last one. It does have 2 angles and 1 side, but notice that the placement of the side is a little bit different. So I'm going to mark my angles first. So 2 angles, but notice that this side right here is not between. It's not between the 2 angles. So that means that this AAS is not this side, because this side's between the 2 angles. It's actually either going to be this side or this side. So I'm going to go ahead and make a mark here just to choose that side and that side as well. So notice this side is not between the 2 A's, so this side is not between these 2 angles. And just to compare the two, you can see that if you have 2 angles, a side in the middle, that would be ASA, because the S is in the middle. And then you have 2 angles in the side that's not in the middle between the 2 angles, and that's going to be this one. And then the last one is HL, which stands for hypotenuse leg. And this one's kind of special because it only works for right triangles. So when we draw this one, you're going to want to make sure this has a right angle. And if the hypotenuse is the same, that's this side right here, this one that's across from the 90. So that's the hypotenuse. And then a leg is just any other one, maybe this one down here. And so this one would be classified as hypotenuse leg. Okay, so these notes are going to be used and useful. So just make sure you have all these congruence theorems down, and then we're going to look to identify given triangles, which one of these it satisfies.